leaching of various nutrients inside the surface irrigation is very high, but inside check basins, generally very low. Hello everyone, I am Sanjeev Kumar, Faculty of Agriculture and Geography at Plutus IS. Today you will understand about different methods for irrigation, means how farmers in India doing conventional irrigation, traditional irrigation, and how farmers can increase the water efficiency by changing their methods for the irrigation. It will not only reduce the wastage of water, it will also promote the soil health. Further, it will also maintain enough amount of water inside our ground, or it will support more production, means it will improve food security in India. So, let's go for different methods for the irrigation. First one here is surface irrigation. Now, what is surface irrigation? Generally, most of the farmers in India prefer flood, or this flood method is uncontrolled flood method. Generally, they follow uncontrolled flood method. Yes, surface irrigation. Now, what are various advantages and disadvantages of surface irrigation? Generally, surface irrigation followed, especially first time for preparation of land. It seems to be good. It does not require leveling of the land in such way. It is more economic friendly. It does not require hard labor effort. Further, you can just minimize your effort by opening your water channel inside your field, and let's wait continuously flood your entire field. Let's allow continuous flood inside your field. So, surface irrigation means entire region is flooded. Huge amount of water likely to be sucked. It is not suitable, especially in those regions where there is very arid soil, semi-arid soil, where there is more porosity of water. Means soil is very porous and water likely to be finished all of a sudden immediately within very short time period. It is not suitable, especially depth of irrigation at different regions when your level, the field is not labeled. Labeling of land is not followed. In such case, at certain places, the corners of your field may be over flooded. You can say that there will be more percolation of water, means the moisture level, the depth of irrigation will be more at such places, and certain places the depth of irrigation moisture will be less. Then in such condition, it will impact the overall growth of the crop. Further, if you want to cultivate, you want to spread any kind of fertilizer, pesticides, weedicide, any other chemical, then in such case, it also impacted your labor effort. It means that the labor may not work effectively, your machine may not work effectively in those regions where there is more depth of irrigation. Further, it requires more consumption of water, more wastage of water, more evaporation of water. Okay. And generally, the water use efficiency is very poor. The actual amount of water is consumed less by the plant. It wasted more in form of evaporation, percolation of water moved down inside the surface. This surface irrigation frequently followed, but some of the farmers now following the check basins method. Now, what is this check basin method? It is modified version of surface irrigation. Means here land is labeled. Labeling of land before the irrigation, and farmers here generally develop certain bunds Means there are n number of bunds at a specific distance horizontally, vertically, in any other shape, maybe in half circular, full circular, or in any other way. Different bunds developed. Now these bunds generally directed water. Yeah, these bunds control the water. So you can say here soil runoff, soil erosion can be reduced. The soil runoff, leaching of various nutrients inside the surface irrigation is very high, but inside check basins generally very low. Further, during heavy rainfall, etc., check basins, especially these bunds, help water to control. Means there is no uncontrolled flooding. There are very high chances during heavy rainfall, water along with various essential nutrients moved away. Yeah, runoff, soil runoff takes place. The very rich soil, topmost soil, generally moved away with the water from the field. This check basin method generally better in water use efficiency, in controlling the nutrients, maintaining the soil fertility, and also reducing frequency of irrigation or directing water evenly to all the places inside the field. Bunds help. Then what are various disadvantages of check basins method? Generally maybe up to 30% of land waste, yeah, up to 30% of land may be covered inside these bund, which is not suitable for growing. Further, bunds also created difficulty in harvesting. Yeah, use of various heavy machines generally. If farmers used to cultivate, then tractor move up and downs. There are certain bumps are created inside the field. Further, harvesters may not pick up entire straw of the wheat, of the paddy. So more amount of waste can remain inside the field, which increases your delay. Your preparation of field means your crop likely to be delayed for certain time period. Further, for developing various bund, it requires large amount of labor. You need to spend more money. So it is more costly. But generally, efficiency of water is better than surface irrigation. Now, let's go for ring basin method. Okay, so this is how check basins. You notice that we have created certain rectangular plots here, small plots over large field, and we directed water from main water channel we have directed. Further, it helped especially in those regions where there is less power supply, and it also reduces the depth of percolation of water, especially around the initial point. But still, if soil is more porous, more sandy, then if flow of water is very poor, then over the initial point there will be more depth, means water likely to be reach to more depth. Okay, so depth of irrigation likely to be higher. Now moving towards ring basin method. It is again modified version of your the previous one. Okay, check basins method. This is modified version. Now here further water use efficiency again increases. This is not suitable in all the crop, especially just like grasses, grass family crop, etc. For wheat, for paddy, for maybe maize, or maybe for different other crops like cottons, like millets. This circular ring basin method is not very well suitable. It is more suitable for orchard. It is more suitable for various kind of creepers, cucumber, maybe your different gourds, bitter gourds, bottle gourds, okay, ridge gourd, etc. Several vegetables, yeah, fruits crops can be grow very well with the help of this ring basin method. So here ring basin itself express its method that we need to form a ring, circular ring. You have noticed, and frequently, if you are passionate about the gardening, probably you made this ring basin method, knowingly or unknowingly. Okay. So here what farmers do? Farmers form a ring, circular ring depression around main plant. Around main plant, circular ring depression are formed. Now, these rings are mainly connected with main water channel. So, main water channel used to supply here, used to supply good water here. Okay. So, now you are noticing that remaining other areas where root of the crop or not existed, the open area generally not exposed to water. So, it increases the efficiency of water, means the amount of water used with respect to overall yield production likely to be higher here in ring basin method. Okay. Now, what are various disadvantages of this ring basin method? It is not suitable for all crop, number one. Number two, it requires hard effort in making the ring, means around each and every plant you form ring. It requires high labor. Further, if you want to use any kind of machines, it makes more difficult or complex. That machine may increase their overall maintenance cost, or some of the machines might not be suitable at all. Okay, because of these circular ring depressions. Further, they created difficulty in cultivation and removing weeds and various kind of other problems. But it directed water generally around, to keep water around root of the plants, which is very effective. Okay. Further, here not only water loss, but also the erosion of soil also controlled. Yeah, we can say, surface runoff is also controlled, and it is very successful, especially in arid conditions where high temperature existed and more arid condition existed. So, very much suitable method. Now, another figure for ring basin methods. This is main water channel connected with different rings, circular rings around that. Yes, all good. Okay. Now, this is border strip method. Border strip method is very similar to check basins method. Border strip methods means here horizontally in form of rectangles around the boundary, we make elongated strips, means your entire field is divided into multiple strips. Strips, their width might be 5 to 10 or 15 meter strip. Okay, 5 to 10 or 15 meter strip. Width, this is width. The length likely to be around 90 to 400 meter. Okay, yeah, maybe 70 to 300 meter, vary from region to region, vary from farmers, individual farmers to another farmer. This is your border strip method, means here we created border strips generally parallel to the border. So now it control your flooded irrigation, it control your check, especially surface runoff, leaching of various nutrients. It also directed water well. Your most of the areas likely to receive even water. Generally, it is followed over the labeling of the land. Means first farmers need to label their land, then either check basins method or border strip methods. Where border strip method is not very well suitable, then check basins method is applied. But border strip method likely to be more helpful, especially in certain crops which require high amount of water. Maybe sugarcane, maybe your paddy, okay, jute, etc. This border strip method seems to be more easy because you need to develop only the vertical strips here. The amount of land likely means the amount of land which consumed by the bund slightly, most of the time less than your check basins method. Okay, it is more easy, but again, lot of land is wasted around the bunds. If water flow is very poor, then around the starting point there is more deep percolation of water. Depth of irrigation will be high. Towards end, depth of irrigation is likely to be low. Further, not suitable, and sometimes during heavy rainfall, etc., it can overflow. Yeah, these strips may not be able to control the water, but most frequently it is used in semi-arid areas. It is used in those areas where there is moderate amount of rainfall. Okay, so I hope so far whatever I have discussed, different methods are quite easy for you to understand. Okay, water supply disease means water channel. Then we have created just like vertical strips here, maybe horizontal, yeah, vertical strips here. Now moving towards deep furrow method. Yeah, ridge and furrow irrigation method. So here, generally farmers develop various ridges over the entire field, yeah, furrows. Now furrows are what? These are the furrows and these are the ridges. Over ridges, we develop plant, means plantation take place, and over the furrows, generally farmer directed water to move. So these are furrows are the water channels mainly, and ridges are the area where crop grow. So what happens, especially in arid, semi-arid regions and those regions where there is low amount of water availability, high temperature, and regions where generally high temperature, yeah, high evaporation, yeah, little bit slope over the land. In such region, this deep furrow methods can work. Further, in areas where there is heavy rainfall, in such regions, generally ridge, broad bed, means these ridges transformed into the broad bed. Yeah, broad bed like developed. Just like we sleep in our home over the bed, and around it is, you can say from surrounding region, uplifted region. From surrounding area, it is little bit elevated, yeah, uplifted region, maybe few centimeter, yeah, maybe up to 1 meter, like that. Similarly, inside field, in very heavy rainfall areas, farmers generally created ridge, little bit elevated, so that more amount of water can move through the furrows, and they also develop large furrows. Okay. So, this generally helpful in reducing the soil runoff, reducing the amount of leaching or leaching of nutrients. It is helpful in following the concept of Vapasa. Vapasa means 50% air, 50% water. So, entirely, total surface of your soil is not covered, flooded by the water. What happens when entire region is covered? There is lack of oxygen, there is lack of different other gases, which hamper the overall penetration, movement of various gases inside the soil. It make soil more compact. Further, it reduces the movement of air, which overall hamper the growth of the plants. While over the ridges, there is no overflooded water, and around the ridges, the crop plants which are growing, generally their roots can suck water, can absorb water around the furrows. It reduces evaporation, it increases percolation of water, okay, and it is sustainable use of water. It is good in arid, dry regions. It is also good in certain regions where there is heavy rainfall. But you need to increase the height of these ridges. So, different kind of methods. Here, ridges size is more broad. Okay, so you can say this is broad bed we have created, especially for growing of crop. Now, around 1/3 area can be covered. Around 1/3 area may be covered by your furrows. Now, what are problems with this deep furrow irrigation method? There are various problems. Suppose that it requires more effort it requires more labor for creating various kind of ridges and froze. During heavy rainfall, these froze directed water, so water may run off from your field, and generally there is no crop grow inside the froze, which hamper the overall yield inside the field. Now, moving towards modified version of it, that is subsurface irrigation. And subsurface irrigation, further, our focus is to minimize, or you can say that minimize this evaporation up to zero. How we can minimize evaporation? Water evaporation means huge amount of water. Most of the water generally lost because of evaporation, especially in those regions where there is very high temperature, in torrid regions, especially in tropical countries. Now, in such areas, in desert areas, this subsurface irrigation is very helpful, because here the water drips. Yeah, water directed only around the subsurface, means around the roots of the plant. Okay, so these are different plants which are growing here. Now, these pipes, water channels is inserted, and channel is created around subsurface layer, means in A2 layer, here generally in B layer. These pipes are inserted, and these pipes have multiple nozzles, outlet, where water generally with right flow move. This water is absorbed by the plant roots directly. Okay, so it reduces huge amount of water evaporation. Okay, subsurface irrigation. Now, what are the problems of subsurface irrigation? When you develop such network of the pipes, then you require more cost. You require high technology, more skillful labor, and here generally you require more maintenance cost. Water nozzles can require more maintenance, can be blocked frequently by salty water, etc. So you require very pure water here. Okay, you require more regulation here, more maintenance here. Now, moving ahead of subsurface irrigation, here different PVC pipe are generally used. Okay, which can sustain during hot temperature or cold temperature conditions. This is how subsurface drip irrigation (HDI) pipes are used, may be helpful in growing certain plantation crop, maybe cotton, maybe sugarcane, jute, maybe different other plantation crop. It may support fruit crop, vegetable crop, etc. Now, moving to very advanced method, sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation, highly helpful. Not only minimize the wastage of water, also increases water efficiency, means more yield per drop, per unit of water. Okay, within a sprinkler irrigation, what is the basic method? It is just artificial way of showering. It is just artificial way of rain. Means most of the plant, most of the area receive water. So in such condition, what happens that significant amount of water when used by the plants directly, there is less wastage. The environment is more humid. Frequently less amount of water with minimum wastage you can apply over the crop. So it improve metabolic activities inside the plant, photosynthesis activities likely to be improved, and overall health of the plant will be better. Overall yield inside the agriculture field will be better here. Okay, so in sprinkler irrigation, it is most suitable method, especially if your field is not very flat area, having ups and downs, different terrains. Then especially movable sprinkler or even your fixed sprinkler will support you. Depend on how much fund you want to contribute and how long, for temporary purpose or for permanent, for very long duration, you need to develop this sprinkler irrigation. So there are movable and immovable sprinkler. This is hand moving sprinkler. It is kind of pipe you use for cleaning your car, cleaning your house, etc. Similarly, you have noticed that we switch on motor, yeah, we generally carry the pipe from our tank, then it started to irrigate each and every plant. So it is like that. So person can spray water in form of rain over the plant, yeah, planted area. So there is almost negligible, yeah, very small soil surface runoff. Generally the amount of water is spread. The rate of amount of water which are released by nozzles, by pipe, okay, it is lesser, always lesser than the capacity of soil to absorb the water. So technically, whether up and downs, what kind of field you have, you can regulate, you can control it easily. You can move ups and downs. Now, to move sprinkler. To move sprinkler generally mounted over the vehicles, yeah, over the wheels. Means sprinkler nozzles generally set over the wheels so that can move with certain limitations. Means cannot move everywhere, but they are movable. It means you need not to fix your sprinkler everywhere at the field. Rather, let's attach with certain wheels, yeah, certain machines or tractors. Now, entire region, more regions likely to be covered by such two move sprinkler. Especially the regions like, check basins, yeah, border strip, such kind of field are very well suitable, especially to move sprinkler. Now, after this to move sprinkler, side roll sprinkler. Side roll sprinkler, generally different wheels and number of wheels you can reduce, you can increase these wheels. So, connected with main water pipe channel, and around this main water pipe channels, there are certain nozzles which mounted. Okay, then these nozzles likely to be spray have this over in surrounding areas. This is side roll sprinkler. Side roll sprinkler is better than two move sprinkler that cover less area, it cover wider area. Further, you can increase number of wheels, you can reduce it as per your requirement. You can shift it from one region to another region. Yeah, one system may suffice the small farmers need at different field. Okay, if you do not have budget for permanently establishing sprinkler irrigation. Now, this is very common and most suitable gun type. Gun type sprinkler, generally they are fixed sprinkler. Now here, this nozzles likely to be rotate around this pipe outlet and the surrounding region, specific regions in circular way or near about circular way is covered in form of water guns. It is like, in Delhi, the pollution is increasing. So water guns, water cannons are used by municipality department. It is like that. They are spraying water, kind of artificial rain over the roads. Yeah, in industrial areas where there is more dust pollution. Yeah, over the construction site. Similarly, here water is spread. The amount of water, again, the limit, the spreading of water is always lesser than the absorption capacity of the soil. So whatever water we spread, it is entirely absorbed by the soil. So there is very effective use of water. It increases efficiency of water. It created very humid environment and it can modify artificially the environmental conditions. So, means irrespective of particular agroclimatic conditions, artificially you can manipulate, can make more favorable conditions. Further, more part of plant absorb the water, not only the roots of the plant. Then what are the main problem? Generally, it is more costly. Number two, it require very skillful labor. Different nozzles या overall pipe या technology connections you do not have in local market. So you need to move every time for maintenance purpose, etc. Nozzle can be blocked at any point of time whenever there is more amount of salt, etc. can be fixed. You require more clean water here. You cannot use salty water, faulty water. Otherwise, it likely to increase overall salt concentration over the soil because it is not washed away. Just like in flooded irrigation method, the topmost soil may be swept or washed away so that most of the salt particles also move, leach away along with the water. Okay, so this is gun type sprinkler method, which is also having the limited route. Further, there is more wastage of water, especially more water get evaporates, especially in hot summer conditions, because in small tiny water droplets, when it started to shower, spray the water, then huge amount of water evaporates. So more wastage. Okay. Now that is last method, drip irrigation. Now drip irrigation developed in Israel. The drip irrigation, the simple method, just like the person, the farmer moving in Israel garden, notice that there is one plant which is more healthy. Fruits of this plant are more attractive, more robust. Then he noticed that in scorching afternoon, over the parched land, most of the plants are fighting for survivability, while one plant growing tremendously, having large canopy area and strong stem, fruits. Then he noticed that there was a tap which was leaking around root of this plant. Then idea came to his mind, and he tried to implement this idea over the large scale. He noticed if one leak tap can tremendously change the growth of the plant, overall yield of one plant, then suppose that if n number of leaked tap allowed in root of every plant, around the root of every plant, then it not only reduce the wastage of water, but also increase yield and overall health of the plant. Then he implemented, he developed initially, he connected with a tank various main water pipes. Then there are certain outlets, and each and every outlets here connected with around root of the plants with this nozzle. Now here water can be irrigated. Generally in sprinkler irrigation, more energy is required. Very strong pressure is required for spreading water to large area. But in drip irrigation, generally slow flow of water is required. Less amount of energy or no amount of energy is required. Water flow with very low pressure. In sprinkler irrigation, water flow with high pressure. Their maintenance is very high. Here maintenance is very low. For the this drip irrigation, irrespective of sprinkler irrigation, is very efficient, especially in those regions which having desert-like condition and where farmers are growing plantation crop. It is very, very helpful. Then what are various, regions that farmers are not adopting at large scale this drip irrigation? This because it cause more cost because of all such pipes, nozzles, etc. It require more skilled labor. Again, maintenance cost. Also cause you require clean water, otherwise these nozzles can be choked. Further, it increases salt concentration around the root of the plants, and it is only used in limited areas. Okay, not at every place they are suitable. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much. Hope we will meet with another topic. You can enrich overall knowledge, experience, and understanding for competitive examination. So bye bye. Take care.